Today, we will be looking at the relationship between the Human Development Index and income per person, GDP per capita, PPP, and inflation adjusted with a 2011 base year.
We hypothesize that the Human Development Index will have a positive relationship with income, meaning that an increase in the Human Development Index will simultaneously have an increase in income. We also believe that countries located within income level 1 will have a lower HDI score than countries located in income level 4s.
To fully understand how and why these variables work together, we must first briefly explain what they are. So, what's the Human Development Index? The Human Development Index was created in 1990 by Dr. Mahbub-ul-Haq, a revered Pakistani economist. Gapminder defines the Human Development Index as, quote, an index used to rank countries by level of human development. This human development contains 3 different dimensions: health level, educational level, and living standard. Seeing as this index is an umbrella term for the general well-being of individuals living in a specific area, it essentially goes hand in hand with the wealth of that country. It would not be surprising if the healthier and happier the people of the country are, the higher GDP, income, and extra spending money they have to upkeep such a high standard of living. The second variable, income, is just a little bit more complicated than it might seem, and it is defined by Gapminder as encompassing, quote, gross domestic product per person adjusted for differences in purchasing power in international dollars fixed 2011 prices. So what is PPP and real GDP? Well, GDP, as previously mentioned, means gross domestic product, and it is the, quote, total market value of all the finished goods and services within a country's borders, end quote. The data we are looking at today represents real GDP because it uses prices set by a base year, which in this case is 2011, to adjust for inflation. Using real GDP over nominal GDP, which does not adjust for inflation, this data is much more accurate. To increase this accuracy, our second variable is also PPP, or purchasing power parity, adjusted. This is an accurate way to determine an exchange rate between 2 countries based on their income. This method uses set basket prices of goods and services and compares the number of baskets able to be purchased based on a country's average income. Because purchasing power varies greatly between countries worldwide, PPP adjustments is a much better way to calculate exchange rates.
To understand income, we must recognize that income is separated into 4 levels. Income level 1 is where we find the world's poorest population. They earn less than $2 a day, and meeting even their most basic needs is a struggle. People at income level 2 live on $2 to $8 a day. People at income level 3 earn between $8 to $32 a day. Lives for the 2 billion people at this income level are much more stable for those people at level 1 and 2. And they can afford to buy things beyond their basic necessities. People at income level 4 earn more than $32 a day. At this income level, we find the richest billion on the planet. As the Human Development Index grows, the income per person grows as our hypothesis suggested. Population size of a country doesn't seem to have an effect on the HDI of a country and/or have an effect on the income. Countries located within income level 1 typically have a HDI lower than 0.6, whereas countries within income level 4 typically have an HDI above 0.8.
So with all that being said, what story does this data tell? Simply put, our data tells a story of a consistent trend throughout 3 decades that does not show signs of stopping anytime soon. The data shows that from 1989 to 2018, this trend has remained positively correlated. It is not extremely surprising to see. However, it is both interesting and saddening to take in how inseparable income and wealth is with the general well-being of a nation. As seen throughout this video, the running footage of the graph's changes throughout the year showcases that while numbers may change and increase often, the shape and relationship shown between the variables in this graph show no variation at all. Even throughout the varying income levels, the data remains constant, meaning that the extreme ends of the spectrum align with the natural relationship between the 2. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and big thanks to the sources that help make this project possible.